Now, the Guam Drug Court is a very worthwhile endeavor and certainly doing things on the island. And here to talk about that effort is Presiding Judge Alberto Lamorena. Your Honor, thank you so much for taking some time and telling us about this.
And thank you, Jason, for having me.
Always today. An honor to see you here. Your honor. Okay, so the drug court, for people that may not know, if you can just please give us a brief history. You know, how long has it been around? How was it conceived, and how has it been in terms of progress?
The adult drug court at the Superior Court of Guam was first implemented in 2003. That was about almost 10 years from now. And we had a first class of 43. And what it did was to deal with the drug situation here on our island. At that time in the 90s and now, we had a very serious drug problem, mainly methamphetamine, ice. And we had to cope at least with that situation. And thankfully, we were able to cooperate with the Department of Justice, which gave us a $500,000 grant to implement the adult drug court. And what it does, it melds two legal principles. One, it melds therapeutic jurisprudence, where the judge makes sure that the defendant who voluntarily enters the program complies with all the terms and conditions of his treatment program. And two, it's a collaborative justice where we work as a team. The judge, the prosecutor, and the public defender and the treatment providers work together to make sure that the best interest of the defendant is at stake here, to make sure that he complies with all the conditions of his treatment program, to make sure that he abstains from alcohol and drugs, and to make sure that when he does graduate from the program, he knows how to handle his drug addiction. We don't guarantee, the adult drug court is not a cure to addiction. You will have it all the time. But it teaches the person how to handle his addiction so that he or she may not go back to drugs or alcohol.
Now that's an interesting thing, because I wanted to, and you allowed us to segue into our next question, because with the intent not being to eliminate but to curtail, hopefully, and everything like that. Let's talk about effectiveness and everything. And in the years that it's been around and everything like that, on a more macro scale and everything like that, how effective has the drug court and its programs been?
Well, the drug, as far as our graduates are concerned, the adult drug court has been a success. All those people that have graduated, almost 400 people, the recidivism rate is very low, maybe 10%, less than 10%. In other words, they have not reoffended once they graduated from the adult drug court. And so the success rate is very, very high. And that's why we continue to have the adult drug court, because those who successfully graduate do not usually come back. And that's a very good feeling, at least for me, and for our treatment providers, and for the Attorney General, and for the defense attorneys, that these people have succeeded in handling their drug addiction.
Now, comparatively, how does the Guam Adult Drug Court stack up against similar programs and efforts in the mainland as far as recidivism and success rate?
I think we equal or are better most drug courts in the mainland. We just recently got an evaluation from the Department of Justice on how we handle the adult drug court, and the evaluation came back, and in most aspects we did very well. In fact, we not only reached expectations, in many ways we exceeded expectations.
All right. Now, of course, as you said, it's a collaborative effort between, you said with the courts and the attorney generals, and all working together.
Right.
What are some of the logistical challenges that you've noted in getting so much harmony in everybody? Because obviously it's a very worthwhile effort, and you want to, like you said, with the intent not to cure but to reduce.
Right. In the beginning, it was very difficult because, Jason, the courts is an adversarial court system. And in most cases, both attorneys for the prosecution and the defense, it's a very adversarial relationship. What we had to do was change that concept from adversarial relationship to a collaborative relationship. It's just like teaching a dog and a cat to get together. And we were able to succeed in persuading both the prosecution and the defense counsels that the adult drug court was the best method in rehabilitating these individuals. And both of them did agree that if we don't address this drug addiction problem that we had here on Guam, these people will come back and they'll reoffend. And so they both agreed that something had to be done. And so with this new concept of collaborative justice, where the dog and the cat get together, which is the Attorney General and the defense counsels, to get together for the best interests of the defendant. And this is a voluntary program. Nobody is forced to go into the program. The court doesn't order a defendant, you go into the industrial court program. The person voluntarily goes into that program. And so that voluntariness is also a very a plus to that individual, because he or she then knows that he or she has now addressed their addiction, and they want to get, they want to have that, I won't say cured, but at least they would alleviate that problem and know how to handle that addiction.
All right, well, certainly going from a competitive environment to a collaborative one,
Yes.
or cooperative, certainly difficult in any industry. Well, Your Honor, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations on the effort, and best of luck as you move
Okay,
forward.
thank you, Jason, for having me.
All right, so this is Masi. All right.